What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Michigan Great Outdoors. I'm your host, Jason Ostrowski, aka the Pollock, and today I have for you some breaking news hot off the press. The DNR sent out an email, confirmed EHD this year in Michigan, Eaton, Jackson, Van Buren, and Washtenaw counties. So, you know, I'm living kind of near Ann Arbor, so this is kind of close to home for me. Man, this sucks. I don't want to freak anybody out. You calm down. Let's not go crazy here. Sometimes these outbreaks can be kind of contained. Sometimes they don't blow up into something huge. Sometimes, like Iowa, you know, several years ago, they got decimated. So we don't need to freak out here. But what you need to do is be on the lookout for EHD deer, whether it's, you know, in the woods, driving around. If you see deer walking around like zombies, like just in circles near water areas, you should report it. So there is a thing here in the email from the DNR. It's called, there's a link in here, it's called Eyes in the Field. It's a way that you can report sightings of dead deer carcasses, you know, anything like this type of situation. I do suggest that you go on there if you see any of these deer with EHD and report it. Now, I'm actually going to go out, I'm hoping this Sunday, I'm going to go to an area that I like to hunt sometimes and try to walk some of the waterways and to see if it's kind of happening in my area. I don't have any cameras out this year. I've actually not put cameras out. I'm planning on doing it soon, but I want to go out and just kind of poke around because one of the areas I do hunt is very, very close to one of these counties. So, you know, it's important to understand what EHD is. So it's some sort of I can't even explain it. It's a epizootic hemorrhagic disease. I know I butchered that. What I call it is they get bit by this midge, and this midge is supposedly it like burrows in mud flats or like swampy, low-lying areas. And what happens is when you have like a warm spring and a wet spring that goes into like maybe like an early summer, it's warm, it's wet, and then we have a dry down. So it has been extremely dry here in the later part of this summer. I know one of my buddies was out where we hunt. He said the swamp is like bone dry right now. In those conditions, when you have that wet spring, kind of a wet early summer that just dies into like a drought, all those water levels, that water table is going to sink down and it's going to expose all those muddy areas, and that's where the midge hatches, or it comes out of the ground. And when those midges fly around, they bite the deer and then they can infect the deer. For some reason, it seems to target the larger, more mature bucks. I don't know why. Same thing with chronic wasting disease. It seems like it always targets the bigger bucks, the more mature bucks. I don't know if that's really the case or we just notice it more. But so basically when they get bit by this midge, they're gonna get this disease, this EHD, epizootic hemorrhagic disease, and then basically in layman's terms, their brain starts cooking. I mean, they get a fever and their brain starts to basically cook itself. And their natural fight or flight deer, they go to water. Just like when you shoot a deer, you wound a deer, they always go to water. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go to water. Water cools your body down. So they'll go in the water to cool down, and they've kind of lost their minds, almost like a dementia state. And they basically, a lot of times they just drown. It's a horrific thing. It can really decimate localized deer populations. Last year we had EHD. There was actually a report that I found, and I experienced EHD last year in mid-Michigan, but last year in the southwest part of the state, so down here, they got hit pretty good. 4,500 reported cases. I mean, that's a lot of deer if you think about it, and that's just the cases that were reported. So it's important if you see something like this to report it. You know, I know there's a lot of anti-DNR sentiment these days. People are like, you know, F the DNR. It's not F the DNR. It's F the NRC, or the old NRC. There's a lot of positive things happening at the hunting meetings, and my buddy Josh Arbogast is one of those guys that they're going there and they're trying to, you know, turn the tables and get out of that old mentality. And if you're watching this video, I think it's, you know, important for you to try to support the DNR and help them. I think there's some positive things happening with the Michigan DNR. So what we need to do as hunters and sportsmen and good stewards of the land is we should report these things if we have the opportunity to do so. So I will put this in the link in the comments down below. I don't want to freak anybody out. I don't necessarily know right now if this is going to be a widespread thing. What we need right now is we need rain, which it's about to rain here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it is going to rain here. It's not enough rain. We need like a big time springtime rain to bring those water levels up, to basically flood out those mud flats, get that water table up so those midges won't be able to fly out, they won't be able to hatch. But what we really need is a hard frost. The first hard frost wipes these midges out, apparently. So looking at the extended forecast here in this area, there's really no rain besides today in the schedule, and then it's going to basically maintain the same kind of temperature scale. We need a frost. I don't know if that's going to happen before October, so I don't want to freak anybody out here and say that this is a major issue, because a lot of times these things are isolated, but it can get out of control really fast. So I think it's important, like I said, to report, use that eyes in the field. If you see anything like this, report it. And then the reason that I'm bringing this up too is I follow a lot of the Michigan hunting Facebook pages, and people are already finding deer. They're posting pictures of deer. Some of it was actually like a week or two ago. So there are confirmed cases. There's other people seeing them. I even saw a guy, he sent me a photo of a dead deer in the Huron River in Hudson Mills up by like North Territorial. So I mean, this stuff is, I mean, it's real, it's happening, and we got to keep our eyes peeled and help the DNR. I think it's important to help the DNR out. Maybe you think it could be not helpful, but you know, I don't know. I feel like if you're trying to do anything and you're trying to run a state or wildlife, you need as much information as possible. And I think it's important for us as sportsmen to try to do our part to give back. I mean, how hard is it to go on there and freaking report that you've seen a dead deer in a creek? So if you don't mind, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I will try to take this email and see if I can link it or like put it in the comments or whatever, just so you guys can read it. If you're not signed up for the DNR emails, you should be, especially if you're reporting your harvests. I would think that you get these emails, but you can go on the DNR website and sign up to get these. They're very helpful. They have a lot of good information, and that's all I have for you on this breaking news, Michigan Great Outdoors. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.